Today we're discussing some correlation between Bitcoin and the overall movements of the stock markets. So when we start to analyze charts, then it's important to know that there's a correlation between many different pairs. So yesterday, I used a movement in the S&P 500, a high probability move towards the downside in order to predict what is going to happen in the crypto market. Because what we can see as of right over here, to this move over here, is that when the S&P 500 made its move down, that Bitcoin got taken with this move towards the downside, right? So once you start to understand why these movements happen, then you can use that to your advantage. So as of right now, Bitcoin has a pretty significant correlation with the S&P 500. And the reason being is because Federal Reserve policies are impacting the way people want to invest their money. So basically, whenever the interest rate rises, the interest into stocks and crypto tends to go down. And the reason why it tends to go down is because not only do stocks get hit by a rise in the price of loaning money, which then makes it harder for companies to do investments, but additionally, you have a place where you can store your money and you can earn more interest. So if you take these points together, then you can understand why the correlation is happening. So that's why yesterday, when I used this movement towards the downside on the S&P 500, where we rejected this 0.618 perfectly, it was basically a precursor for what could happen to Bitcoin. Now, we saw a large movement towards the downside, we saw a rejection, and now we are seeing some price movements in Bitcoin that could indicate further downside, in my opinion, as well. So we broke this overall structure, and the lower high that I was watching, or the level that I was watching for a lower high, was around 38,000. So right now we are making this move towards the downside. We broke this upward consolidating structure. And now, in my opinion, we can go and take out these lows on 36,168 and go towards 35,525 to grab the liquidity over there. And once we grabbed the liquidity, I do feel that we can go towards the 40K plus levels, towards that weekly supply. So my strategy remains completely unchanged. I am scaling in once we start breaking these lows over here, grabbing that liquidity, because I feel that it's a high probability trade towards the upside in a market that's heavily overextended towards the downside. All right, so that's my strategy for the upcoming 24 to 48 hours. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.